I'm curious to see if you run into, because I know occasionally, not very often, you can occasionally run into Andrew Schultz.
Yeah, but
he's been big out here now. Like,
shut up.
No, and he's really. The
last time I saw Andrew Schultz, I was walking in the Hell's Kitchen on my mother-in-law's birthday, and so I had literally had the entire family, and he was going somewhere with his woman. He grabbed my arm, was like, "Yo, what's up, bro?" I was like, "Yo, what's up?" Headed in the Hell's Kitchen.
So he now has said he's like fully out on everything that's happening, and he's did not ever think it could go this way. And I don't think he's lying in how he feels about it. I think he's being truthful that he's really disturbed by it. But
the question
then goes how we got here.
No, but the question then goes, okay, taking that at face value, you didn't think we could get here, which means you had faith in this country and this government that we would never get here, despite people telling you that this is where it's going. So you had more faith in the government, in the marketing, than you did in human beings who were being affected or knew the history of this nation. So my next question goes, how will you find faith in this government ever again then? Or did you never have faith?
Well, that's you're giving those people a lot of credit and saying they must have really just believed something positive.
Okay, so then it was a grift. So you knew it had potential, and so you just decided to ignore that for the sake of the grift, because now you got to sell out your Madison Square Gardens, you got your Hitler haircut, you got your Hitler mustache, you jumped on stage at the Garden, sold a bunch of tickets, you and Charlemagne did your podcast and did all your song and dance, you did all your things, got your clicks and you got your likes. And so now the new grift is, I'm going to apologize.
That's what I think it is. I think it is. I don't even know if it was all the way a conscious, I'm going to grift. It was that you do this thing in your head where you're like, nah, I mean, I'm just someone who's going to interview him. I'm not going to outright support him. I'm just going to give him the platform, and I'm just going to.
Right, because we need to have conversations with people we disagree with.
So I think, Laura, I'll let you go, but I think it's playing this plausible deniability game. And now it's become the worst version of it, and now you want to backtrack off of it. But to Ebro's point, everyone was saying, this is really bad. This is really dangerous. You are harming people by making this normal. That Schultz interview with Trump was right down the stretch of the election, and it was one of those moments that Trump really excels in, where he really seems normal, and you can really treat him in this way where he's relatable and comfortable. That had a factor, that mattered. So what are you going to do now with your platform beyond saying, my bad?
Right.
What are you now going to do? Because the milk is out of the udder. What are you going to do?
But I don't think, but so that takes me back to the grift, because they know they don't have to do anything except entertain, get the clicks, and shift on to whatever the next hustle is, whatever the next trend is.
And this is going so bad for Trump right now, and the ICE thing looks so bad, and you can see his approval ratings are terrible. So now you can play the other side, and there'll be a lot of clicks to say, ooh, this is bad. You're right.
And here's the safe landing. According to what Laura was pointing out earlier on the show and what we're seeing on social media, a lot of people are in this boat. So now they have their spokesperson to be like, I screwed up too.
My bad.
My bad. I screwed. I didn't think it could get this bad.
So, Laura, do you think it was an intentional grift?
I just feel like just to excuse it as like, I'm just going to interview him. No, he was spewing this pro-Trump rhetoric before this. So it's like leading up to it. So, and whoever else is on the show was like, ha, they would just laugh about it and entertain it. And it led to them getting that Trump interview.
Well,
and now my bad, all while people's lives are being destroyed. People are scared because their aunt could get taken, their mothers, their children. Like, it's bad, guys.
And didn't Trump always say, day one, we're going to have the biggest deportation in U.S. history. It's always there.
And nobody listened to our radio show. They definitely didn't get the clips online, which is why we realized that when we started doing this, there's people actually watching the show now.
For the first time.
Nobody actually was getting these clips because all they wanted to put out was Laura's flashing lights and us talking about rappers. But we've been talking about this for a while where they would throw out numbers. We're going to round up 2 million. We're going to he said 11 million and he said 21 million once. He was like, there's 20 million illegal people. And I was like, 20? Do you know what 20 million people getting rounded up looks like? Do you know what that looks like? And most people don't know what that looks like.
No.
So that means you're an effing idiot because you heard these crazy numbers. And you didn't take it serious. or you're so jaded by talking crazy on the internet and watching the internet that you were like, he's just talking. It's not going to happen.
But it doesn't matter. Why would you be okay with that talk?
Why would you be okay with that talk? Yo, Schultz.
Congratulations.
Now, would you interview Andrew Schultz?
I've thought about that. I'd be more apt to interview Schultz probably than say I would never interview Tommy Loren or Candace or Katie Miller or any of those people. Mm-hmm. Schultz is interesting because I don't believe that he is the worst of those kind of people. I think there's an interesting conversation to be had that could potentially be effective. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe he's evil and wants to spread evil, but he made choices where he put his own success of his podcast ahead of the well-being of his fellow Americans. So I don't know. It's the same way I feel about Charlemagne. There's certain things that he does that I'm like, oh my God, how? But at the same time, I don't think Charlemagne's heart is terrible and he wants bad things to happen to people, but he does things that make me go, how could you do that in that moment? Do you see what I'm saying? I see a difference. I delineate between the people who are outright, I know what side they're on.
And hustling grifters who just jump at the opportunity to get clicks and make money.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, listen, that's what it is.
Right.
If you know something's bad and you have a platform where you're successful and you're like, yo, this is bad. Oh, but it's gonna be hot. It's gonna move around. It's gonna go viral, right? And you say, yeah, but I don't have to do that. I don't need to take that one. I'm gonna pass on that one because I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm aware of the distinction.
Right, like that's what it is.
Yeah. It's not hot to do that, though.
It's not. You're not John Blaze. And you're not. I mean, look, you can't do big numbers. Listen, we're struggling to have 50,000 subscribers.
Right, come on.
We'd be over 1 million right now.
If we had Sneeko and Aiden Ross, who else anyone we could get up here to sit here?
Run it up.
Whoever said the racist thing in chats that we could get to come talk with us?
Interview them.
I can't.
Give them a platform. Talk to them like they
See
really have an
let's
opinion.
see what we can glean from them.
Yeah, maybe. You know what? We need to learn a little bit about each other. I do not need to learn about somebody who goes out in public and uses the N-word knowing that it's wrong, knowing that you're just trying to do it to offend people.
I like back in the day when they were more overt with it. You know what I mean? Like in the Donahue Geraldo era. When they would just the Klansmen would just be on there with the hood on. They'd be like, yo, what are you doing? And people would come out and just yell at them. And they'd be like, I hate you, you're a pig. And he'd be like, and then they would just get into a fight. Just be honest. Let it be. That's John Blaze.
Yeah.
And sometimes
and by the way, if you're really about that life, if you're really a white supremacist, put the costume on.
That's what I'm saying.
But I guess they kind of are putting the costume on.
Right, it's a new costume.
It's just a new costume.
The costume's different.
Now it's a slick haircut. You know what I mean? But they went and started doing the tight fade. What was the guy, I don't know his name, the guy that was running ICE that looks like the character from the Tiana Taylor movie?
Bovino.
Bovino.
Yeah, Bovino. I always get Bovino and Bongino confused.
That's the guy. He had the costume on.
Yeah, no,
he wore the costume.